Why? Like,
Alright, chat. I'm just a drone. I have to end the stream now. Oh no. No, I'll just fix it after the stream. That's sad to see though. That was ruined.
start to seize.
Alright. So guys, we're live once again. I'll have to repeat what I said. We're here with TJ Rockstar, TTV _ TJ Rockstar on Twitch. You guys already see the topic. It's right there. Should abortion be legal? Yes or no? And yeah, right. Quickly. I just want to open up the TikTok real quick for the guys on TikTok to understand the intricacies of
Okay, so guys,
about to go down.
as you can see from the title, should abortion be legal? Again, there are a lot of words in this statement or in this question. Should abortion be legal? So let's just start with defining what abortion is. Right? I've opened up here, as you guys can see.
Could you give me okay? You just carry on with that. Almost.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Almost. I just wanted to make sure the stream on TikTok is going well for the boys on TikTok. So, you know.
Alright. So, abortion. It can be legal in certain circumstances, like when you're playing chess, right?
I need to abort the game.
You have to abort the game. In those circumstances, yes, that's when abortion is legal, right? But we're talking about abortion in terms of pregnancy, right? So the definition we're going to use here before we start trolling is an abortion is the medical process of ending a pregnancy. It's also known as a termination. That's according to the health HSC of Ireland. Like, that's like the health organization in Ireland. So what they're saying here is ending a pregnancy. That's the definition of abortion.
Does the end justify the means?
Yeah, there's no sugar coating it.
No sugar for me, no daddy here.
Now the question is, should it be legal? Right? Should it be allowed?
Yep, that is what we have. And the question is for you guys.
Legal obviously means to be like authorized by the law, like, you know, for the government to
allow this carry on.
Yes. So
like, that's going to be like a major right.
Should it be a right?
Yeah. Should it be right? What about the rights and the wrongs?
So, I mean, we have 1K viewers here. Please like
1,000 viewers, man. Holy guys, like the video, man. We can't be that much, and we're not liking it.
The sad thing is, you can't like on Twitch, guys. That's the sad part about all this stuff. You can't like on Twitch.
You can't. Holy.
You can only like on YouTube. That's why Twitch is a haters podcast.
Hater zone. It's getting heated here. Holy. I started the...
But I'll start with my take, right? I think, again, a bit of my background first of all, because everyone has their opinion is based on, you know, their views and their. So like me, I'm a religious person. I have faith. I'm a person of faith.
I think we should let them. I'm just saying.
We should let them speak, but there's no one speaking. Is there anyone in your chat?
Okay. I see what we'll do. Okay, we'll give your take. Sorry. I won't interrupt.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just saying, like, so. Yeah, so as a religious person, obviously, in terms of faith, which most people today, everyone today is like relativist. Like, everyone believes what I want to do, I do. But anyways, like, as a person of faith, I believe abortion is wrong. Now, but the question is, should it be legal, right? Should it be legalized? Again, my take on it is it shouldn't be legalized. It shouldn't be legalized. That's my take.
And why is that?
Because, and okay, are we going to? Like, I think we should just start with them, because like.
Yeah, we'll start.
Yeah.
Because I know we would have had questions if I started my TikTok earlier, so it's about to start now.
Yeah, but
all right, we're live on TikTok now. All right, we're live on
yeah.
TikTok now, so yeah, I know the TikTok chat is going to definitely.
I'm just going to give one main reason why I think it should be illegal. Right, this is my main take on why abortion should be like illegal. Right. So I think abortion should be illegal because it can be abused. That's like
guys on TikTok. How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream.
That's the main reason why I think abortion should be illegal. Because, for instance, if you legalize it, which we understand why. Okay, say for instance, in the reason it's legalized, actually, we need to go into the reason why it's legalized.
I see you,
first of all,
I see
right?
We
know like abortion is legalized because of certain instances. Oh, Uzom, do you know the original? Like, let me actually search it. So, why is like, what's the original reason why
Reason why?
abortion became legalized?
Nah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
because I
think we
remember,
should
I
search
think
it
it was
up.
because of like grape. I think that was the main reason it
Although,
became,
yeah. I don't know.
and then
I
it
don't
now
know.
became popular, like to do it like as normal.
As
Let me
normal.
check.
Okay, check,
I
check.
think. Let me check.
I don't know whether you find out though. Well, yeah, guys on
No, I've
TikTok,
heard
man.
that stuff somewhere. I've heard that stuff somewhere, but let me check.
Guys on TikTok, sorry for the late stream. We were meant to have started this podcast like 1 hour ago, but some people were delaying the stream. Anyway, I hope you guys can hear me on TikTok. If you guys can hear me, comment. Yes, we can. If yeah, for you guys that are getting here, this is the topic as always. So this is TJ Rockstar, TTV underscore TJ Rockstar
TV with Vibe Gator, also known
on
as Love
Twitch.
Gator.
I'm live on YouTube too. So yeah, we have user 64 saying so abortion is not good because it's not allowed in the Bible. It is a sin. So you're going with
Good.
yes. Okay. Why?
Now you.
Hmm?
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. Ask your question.
No. Were you going to read another question?
No, I was going to ask him a question.
Okay, I was just going to say
Because
Jesus
you
but I'm also like there's a Bible. Right
yeah,
here, like, I
we're
feel
trying
I'm
to
also
say without the
religious, right?
Bible. You get me?
Yeah, but we have to be practical here. Like we have to be pragmatic. We
Like-
can't just say okay, pause is in the Bible. Again, that's the thing. Faith is believing without without
See.
reason for believing.
But we're Christians,
But
so we
now
understand that.
yeah,
But
we
we're
understand
talking,
that, but
we're
now
talking
trying
from
to go
a
philosophical,
perspective
like,
of a perspective of someone that's not a Christian. You get me? Because people like to find excuses, like saying, "Oh, it's because I'm a Christian, I'm doing this." No, this is like common sense. We have right to life, right? You get me? So that's why I want you to kind of like defend yourself on that point. So why do you say so? You get me? And don't use the Bible, bro. Don't use the Bible, man. I want to know why. We have to use
we
the
know
critical.
it's a sin in the Bible.
Of course it's a sin. But we need your critical take here. But yeah, TJ, you were saying something. User 64 will be waiting for you anyway. So when you comment, we'll read that. Up.
I was just saying, like,
Did you search
like
it up? You
abortion-
were going to search up the main
Yeah, I'm
reason.
searching it up. I'm just reading a bit of the history here.
Yeah.
So what they're saying here, right? This is according to Wikipedia now. But just give me a second, Uzam. You can just keep. I'm just trying to like highlight something.
All right. So guys, just in case you notice the stream is a little wobbly, see, we just go back on the main stuff. Like we've not done this in a while, so guys, we would have a better structure next time. So just appreciate whatever you see now, because we're trying our best at the moment. But Quag, holy, I couldn't pronounce that name, but teach them how to like up the stream, man. But yeah, so guys, you guys know how it goes. You give your takes, right? I don't know how many of you are new to this. User 6642, yeah. I think I should look in mod you up. I think I don't know. I just don't like modding up the people that have generic names like you, man. Like I need an actual name so that I know this is you. You get me? But yeah. By the way, you guys just look at the question.
Yeah, I can see something about like
The question is up there.
what they're saying. Like,
Give your takes.
again, this
and
is going
answer.
back to the days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here I'm reading that back in the days it was always tried, but like the male seed was always valued of like to be high, to be like something very precious and sacred, like. But it was tried. They used like different plants and stuff back in the days of like Aristotle and stuff like that. That's what they're saying here. They use different plants to like prevent the baby and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're not saying anything here. But okay, let's just be logical, right? I can't really see anything here. Let's just be logical. Why would we want to end pregnancy? Let's start from there.
Okay,
Why
sorry.
would we want...
One second. Let me just guys in the chat. So this is how we will be handling the chat today. So if we're speaking, right, we'll have to read the chat after we're done speaking. So I can see Arman, you said no, and you have to say why. Why you saying no? All right. So why you say
don't
no?
just make claims.
When you
without
say no, you
justifying
say
them.
say why, so that we can understand your take, and also make sure you know why you're saying it, and also tackle you if we need to tackle you. So anyway, so yeah, guys, just understand that.
So like I was saying, like, we need to say, okay, we know abortion is ending a pregnancy. Now we need to ask, okay, why would someone want to end a pregnancy?
Mm-hmm.
Like a reason I can think of is because
they don't want the child. Basically, they don't want
basically
they don't want the child. Like
like,
they don't know.
So if you didn't want the child, why did you?
Why did you? Yeah, why did you? You have to get
Yeah,
inside the
let's go
nitty gritty.
inside, like,
Oh god.
So why did you have the child in the first place if you don't want the child?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had the child because maybe one, I was horny.
You were horny. You could not
I felt
control
like
yourself.
having sex. Like, yeah, I couldn't control I just wanted to like.
You just wanted to get involved.
so much. I just wanted to have sex and stuff like that. 2, I was lied to. Let's take notes actually. These are options.
Yeah, I have my
1,
book. I'm ready here.
Yeah, let me get my
Holy,
notes.
my run.
Pen and paper,
Pen
very
and
important. I want
paper. You have to
here.
build an edit. I
Make
love.
some edits.
I love that. You're thinking fast.
So,
Yeah. Chat, by the way,
abortion.
if you want to respond in the chat, because TikTok has a policy that goes that it has a, what do you call it, in the chat it filters out comments that have, you know, words like, you know, sex and all that. So just try to walk around it. Yeah. So instead of typing sex, just say s apostrophe or something x. I understand. You get me? Don't just write it directly. If not, TikTok will not show your comment and I will not see it. So yep. Carry on.
Okay, so like we've said, reasons for abortion, right? Number 1, you don't want the child, right?
Reasons, alright.
Yeah. I'm just like writing
Yeah.
reasons for abortion. You don't want the child, right? Another reason would be what? What was the other reason you said?
Don't want child. The other reason is for abortion. Ultimately, is they don't want the child, but
Yeah, they don't want. That's the
they
main
always
reason,
don't want.
like,
That's the main reason. They
Yeah.
always don't want the child.
they always don't want the child. That's
But
actually
I think
the
we should talk about why you're in that situation. How did you get to that situation where
Yeah.
you don't want the
Yeah.
child?
Yeah.
Meaning that's like why. So you were horny, right? You could not control those urges, right? And you are not financially fit to handle it. I guess that might be one. That's what I see, sure. You are not financially fit. Also, grapefruit.
The
It's
fruits.
it's
Very
fruit of the
tasty.
womb only. Then what do we have next? Chad, do you guys have any other reasons?
I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? You might have been lied to be honest, because we know like most men like lie for sex and shit like that. And maybe I know this might be an extremity, but maybe like a guy like was, you know, hyping you up and saying, "Oh, we're gonna be married," blah 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 blah. But he just wanted to smash, right? And say like after he got the
Smash
child,
bros.
like he kind of like left you.
Yeah, it just
So
disappeared.
you're like, you know. But I don't know if that happens that much, that frequently. Like,
Because like
because most men don't lie to women like, "Oh, I want to get
and
married to you."
yeah,
stuff.
and yeah, like although it's possible though, it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, it
Like,
probably
can
has
be lied
happened.
to, but I don't know how
But
valid that
then
reason is.
again, you I don't know, man. People are
You should be able
naive.
to
People
judge
are
from the
naive.
man, like,
Yeah,
yeah,
people are naive, man. People are freaking naive.
yeah,
And I don't
absolutely.
see why you should be putting yourself in that situation when you know you're not financially, you know, ready for that. Because a huge part of taking care of a child has to do with finances. If you don't have the money to do it, there's you have no reason to be, you know, there are other ways to enjoy yourselves. There are other ways. There's no
Okay,
reason
now let's.
to be
So
doing
the
that.
reasons I have here, right? We have honey / lack of self-control, lack of like not financially stable, and grape. Those are the 3 main reasons,
Yeah.
like of how you got the child, right?
How you got the child?
I think we should add like the 4th one, like
What's the 4th one?
naivety. I don't know, or like just being stupid, like you were lied to in a way. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, you were lied to.
So influence
Yeah.
of
Peer pressure, is that what you want to say?
peer pressure influence, kind of, or like you get what I'm saying? Like
I get what you're saying.
I mean that's not like it's a
sounds-
reason of how you got the child though. Maybe your friends are like, oh,
Let's put it.
peer pressure reason, yeah.
Yeah, peer pressure. Like I don't know what kind of friends you have that will pressure you to get a child though. But big ups to you.
They want the child though. They want it.
Big ups to you. Assuming your abort gator now, he won't be here and broke. What? This cheesy guy has come, man. Anyway, back to what we're saying. Emperor, I don't know what you're saying in the chat. You've come. Oh. You're a mod. You should moderate yourself. So,
proper mod here.
all right.
But yeah, so like now let's get
Add some value, guys. Guys in the podcast, guys on TikTok, you guys should respond to the question. This question up here is for you guys. Emperor, let them know. For the new guys
Yeah.
coming in, let them
And
know. Like
the video,
they should say their answer yes or no and why. All right. So Emperor, you haven't even like you know this. Like you're coming in here to troll. First thing in the morning, you're coming here to troll. What's wrong with you?
Not by both are going to wear red. Kachi, be quiet, man. When you're ready, you join the podcast in red attire.
You have to
We're
pick up.
supporting us now here.
God forbid. Oh my dead body.
I
Can't be
beg.
supporting that club. Oh. The lost cause. Anyway.
But Yeah, so like back to the topic. Back to the topic. Let's not throw too much
Let's
here.
not. Yeah. Let's not get off
Supporting
course.
Nigeria as well with the green rubber band, Shout out to the
I
green
put
rubber
that thing
band.
away before I slap you.
The Nigerian boys.
Holy.
Holy.
We up.
We up.
Anyway, so yeah, we. Guys, it's always a bad idea when we come together like this, but it's also needed. It's also needed. Anyway,
Holy.
abortion is legal. What do you mean is legal? Is not. What do you
We
mean?
know it's legal. We know abortion is legal in certain countries.
It's legal in certain places, of course. So we're
Yeah,
asking a question whether should it be or should it not be? That's the question. So we're assuming, okay, let's say it's legal or let's say it's not legal. Should it be legal or not? That's the question here.
Okay, now I think before abortion, right? Abortion is like the last, what's it called? The last form of birth control, right? Because before abortion, there's obviously we have like
You have
drugs,
the marathons.
we have all these things, and abortion is the last one on the list.
One. If you cannot
So,
stop
again,
that
I'm not-
runner, you know the sperm is a runner.
That guy, the
That
porn
guy
is
is
progressing.
That guy is
So,
progressing. It's
we
getting high
can't- We
ground.
can't actually stop the porn. Like, funny enough,
It's promoting to a queen.
it's actually being promoted. But like, the question now is, okay, how do we trade? How do we trade pieces? So
Holy,
no, but on a serious note, like, how do we like? How can you avoid all these forms of birth control and just go raw? Like, no
Yeah.
offense, like, because abortion is coming from obviously like, the interaction of sperm and egg, right? And we know, like, nowadays, again, I'm not advocating for this, but we know like there are different forms of birth control. Like, we know there is, you can take medicines, there's condom, there's so many stuff you can do, right? To prevent pregnancy already.
Yep.
And abortion is basically killing the sperm and the egg. Like,
Yeah.
and we know that when a man wears a condom, I think there's a 99%
chance of there's a 1% chance of like
1%
0.
chance of,
Is it
yeah.
1 or 1%?
I don't know,
chance
but
of-
it's very, very
it's very-
slim that the
yeah, it's
condom
very
breaks
slim.
or whatever. Like, so it's very, very, like, that's why there's a condom factory. Like, again, this is another question for you guys. If and people say men don't cheat, oh, sorry, people say like men don't cheat, but why the condoms? Like, just think about that.
You need
The
to cover
condom
up.
industry is there for a reason.
Oh,
But anyways,
Lord.
that's an aside.
The
But,
condiment.
Yeah, so there's condom, there's so much stuff, like,
Yeah, real
you know.
quick. It should be it controls overpopulation and decreases poverty rate. So wait, you're saying abortion controls overpopulation and decreases poverty rate? Is that what you're saying? Explain how, please. You're saying killing is just like saying if I kill TJ now, I'm controlling population. Is that what you're trying to say? Because abortion is killing someone else, literally, right? TJ, you're killing you're killing
literally
you're killing someone
like,
else.
in
Yeah.
abortion.
So
Because
I want to
you
understand.
know that the fetus is already formed after 6 weeks. Like, the baby is already there. Is it after 6? Oh, sorry. Once the because people always try to mix it and say, oh, once the sperm hits the egg, it's just an embryo. They nickname it a certain word. It's not actually a child.
Max.
But if you look at biology, once the sperm meets the egg, from that point, is the
That's the
formation of the
zygote.
child.
Yeah,
that's
the
the
zygote,
child
yeah.
already.
That's the child.
Yeah, that's the zygote. So like, we can't be doing smeh here,
You're trying to outplay.
I'll play. You can't
You
be
think you're smart.
maneuvering
You
here.
think God doesn't know what
the
he's doing.
night. Only the night does that.
Don't mind them. Want to jump squares? Look at your head. Anyway, so yeah, Emperor. I don't know if you're still there, but I read your chat late. But because my guy is saying it controls overpopulation. I think there are far better ways to control
Guys,
overpopulation.
I don't know if you guys can see on my screen here, but right, they're saying. Look, I'm not going to read some forms of contraception, right? We have caps or diaphragm, we have combined pill, condoms, contraceptive implants, contraceptive injection, contraceptive patch, female condoms, IUD, which is like the coil.
That's here.
We have so many vaginal ring. Again, these are so many forms you can actually avoid being pregnant. But like, if you want to have sex without consequences, then to go to the extreme of saying, okay, I don't want to do any of this, but I want to kill. I want to terminate.
This guy is
each
trolling in the chat. This guy is trolling. He said, "Yeah, if you kill him, you help this country by decreasing their budget." Like this guy, leave the chat. Leave the freaking chat. Like, you see what happens when I go on Vibe Gator and I stream, because I am always trolling on there. So nobody.
Yeah, nobody takes this serious. Yeah.
Nobody on there is just. I beg, Emperor. Let's switch it up now. Come on.
Increasing the budget.
Switch
I like
it
that,
up.
Emperor.
You want to kill a human being? Anyway,
That guy, oh, but you already know, man. That guy is the troll. The mumu,
oh Lord, the Mumu man. We should
the
have sound.
mugu master.
We should have.
I
We
beg,
should have those fresh and fit sound effects. Holy.
guy, we
Yeet.
should do.
Gay.
Geek,
Geek. I need to get that one.
you're a DG, you're a nerd. I beg. But yeah, like there's so many methods of contraception, man. Like, and to go to say, okay, I don't want to do any of this, but I want to terminate. And the thing is, that thing actually decreases your chances of. I think it decreases your chances of having a child. Like,
Yes,
if you do more
it's very
abortions.
risky. It's actually very risky
Yeah,
for them.
because like you're basically destroying your whole
Yeah, the cycle.
fertility. Like, yeah, everything inside is like you're killing.
You're killing
man.
the pattern,
No,
man.
no, no, no,
You're
no.
a killer. You're eating pawns that you're not meant to eat.
You're eating some pawns. You're supposed to be checkmating. You're eating pawns.
No, she got check.
eating pawns.
She got checkmated just to kind of undo it. Like, you lost already. Take care of it. Like, you lost. Already lost. You have a
Wait,
child now.
what do you mean meaningless points? What do you mean?
What do you say? What do you say?
You said meaningless points. I don't know what you're talking about, Oba, but you have to like
Both
say
chats,
stuff.
both chats are trolling here today. I
What
think.
of those that are okay, Oba, before you came here, you're saying what of those that are grapes, right? Before you came here, we said we already defined abortion. We talked about the reasons for abortion. The main reason is you don't want the child.
you don't want
right?
the child, and also
And then we said like some reasons are like lack of self-control, financially stable, grape, and peer pressure, right? Now you're talking about those that are grapes. Now let's get into that, Uzam. Let's just, since the chat was asked about that.
So I think
we said grape. Say
let me,
grape, chat. Don't say don't say
yeah, say grape, please. We need the fruits. It's very important.
Yeah,
Very
say the
healthy.
fruits.
Eat your fruits, guys.
Very, very
So
important.
yeah, like in that situation, to me, that's a situation where I feel there are two ways about this, right? And I feel it should be in the hands of the woman at that point, right? Do you want to keep this baby or not? That's just what I feel, because she has to go through all the pain of having a child and all, let alone the scars from the grape. You get me? So in that situation, I honestly would prefer leaving it in the hands of the woman to decide. Not because of that one reason the whole country should now allow the killing of kids, because that would defeat the whole purpose of the whole thing. You get me? So in my opinion, it still shouldn't be a reason to be legal. Like, yeah, it's like an exception. It's an exception. Like, yeah, if this happens to
the
you,
rule.
yeah, it's like an exception.
We're talking about majority, generalities,
And the exception is not in the case of, oh, let's kill this child. No, it's in the case of, look, we have to now weigh the options here, because how you need money to take care of the kid, you need to be prepared, the woman has to go through labor, all that. So, and remember, these are a must. Like, these are things that would definitely need to be already set in place before the child comes. You get me? And labor is something that already happens. You get me? Labor, in labor she's going to feel pain and all that. So doing after getting raped and all that, people might not, who wants, I don't know, most people will not want you literally had nothing to do with that. You just unfortunately got full boxed on the side of the road or wherever that happened. You get me? So yeah, that's just me. I feel it should be left in their hands, man. Like, it's not something that the government should. I don't think the government should now impose a law that, oh, everyone can just get. I don't know, man. That's just me. Like, that's a situation.
But what do you mean?
Where,
how common grape is? You're saying, nah, that's there for a reason. How common? Okay, now the thing we're talking about grape in terms of penetration, right? We're not talking about sexual assault or like. We're talking about grape
like that leads to a child now. That leads to a child. We're talking about abortion.
So what do you mean?
Yep.
How common is that? I don't think that's very common. Like, people grape, because here I'm reading some stats here saying, again, this is
the city stacks.
1 out of every 6 American women has been the victim of an attempted or completed grape in her lifetime. So that's a very weird, to me, 1 out of 6 seems kind of a lot, but I don't know, maybe that's correct in America.
So they say 1 out of 6 like leads to a child.
And then about 3% of American men, or 1 in 33, have experienced an attempted or completed grape in their lifetime. Obviously women are grape more, but they're saying 1 out of every 6. That's kind of high. So out of 100 it'll be like, I don't know, 10
over 6.
or no.
That
Yeah,
should be,
like,
under the math, yeah.
but yeah, I hear that fact.
Well, it still stands though. It still stands. We're not excusing the fact that they were raped, right? We're saying this is still someone's life. This is still somebody's life, regardless. There's right to life. right? And people like to go through the route of, oh, but that's not yet a fully formed baby. And if I'm being honest, I kind of, it's just like, okay, you want to eat egg, right? You will not go and, if you crack the egg and you see a chick come out, you won't fry that. You won't be frying that chick, right? You have to maybe,
Chicken, no?
yeah, that's chicken. You have to let that one grow so you have a bigger meal. You get me? But yeah. So embryo, like, there are levels to it. There are levels to it. But once you have that full form baby, right, in your womb, and you now say, man, I don't know, man. I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
But Oba, does
I
that
don't know,
answer your
man.
question to the grape?
I
Like
don't know.
again, so let's
Life
let's
is
think of
life.
it. Let's think of it like in the like. I hear Uzon's point and I agree with what Uzon is saying, right? But I'm thinking of it in terms of like because human beings are naturally selfish, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to answer your other question over. Let's just like I just want to like touch on this question you asked. Human beings are naturally selfish. So like say a woman has a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't okay, I don't know, but I would presume that she wants the best for her child, right? Um but now if it's under grape, the emotion of being gripped would kind of like
Emotional damage.
skew her mentality of how she
The
wants to raise
skewer.
how the
The
child is.
skewer.
Do you understand? Exactly. The skewer, like it will change her perspective because she's like, okay, this child I've had is not someone I truly loved. So I don't want this child. Because if I have this child, it will remind me of the way I had the child. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they want to because if you think of it, that's the only reason. That's the only reason why
Emperor, you
people
said
talk about grief. It's just like saying,
blood
oh,
breaks out
if a
from
woman's boyfriend or
women
something,
every month. Wait, TJ, can you hear
someone that
me?
raped a woman and
Yeah, you can hear
someone
me.
that's her
I muted
boyfriend did the
myself.
same thing. They
So
both
guys
had
on
sex with her,
TikTok,
right?
you guys know the route.
A rapist and like
Click
a
on
woman's
that.
boyfriend both had sex with the woman, but
Answer
the
the
rapist
question
did it under
and
force
why.
and in a
Emperor is
violent
trolling,
way,
so
right?
he
So
said,
that's why the woman would want
let
to
me listen to TJ, but
abort
guys,
the child. But if we
Emperor, let them know.
if we excuse the way the manner it was done in and the actual fact of it's a child that is formed. Again, I'm not justifying. It sounds like I'm justifying a rapist. I'm not. But
Of course,
if we
like
exclude
we're
the
not.
manner it was done in and say, okay, it's still a child, blah 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 blah. What do we? Because imagine that woman now. Like that woman wouldn't believe it. Like there's so many stories of people that have they've what's it called?
It came from grape or something.
Yeah, they're victims of grape incidents, and look at how they come out. Again, I'm not justifying the fact, but I'm just saying a child is a child, irrespective of how it was
Yeah,
formed.
people like I see. I get what
That's
you're
my
saying.
point.
Like you see why TJ is always going like I'm not excusing because people easily want to say that we are trying to excuse. Nobody's excusing anybody. But
I
you
know,
guys,
I know it sounds like I'm, oh, but I
yeah,
know what you mean. But
nobody's excusing anybody.
I'm speaking as a man.
And
Exactly, that's the common claim.
yeah,
Again, it does. I understand the female perspective. That's what I'm saying. Okay, if it happened to me as a woman, like I'm not a woman, but if that happened to me under force and I couldn't do anything, I'll totally understand why I want to like,
mm-hmm.
I can hit men or whatever. I want to kill the child. But what I'm saying is, think of the child and think of like this is the thing. Like men, I don't know if you've heard the same, but I think men are built from trauma, right?
Mm-hmm.
And women kind of like again, I know I'm like
Mm-hmm.
but
Talk,
men
no
are built
speak.
from trauma, like,
Mm-hmm.
and women are like hurt from trauma more because I think women like so. For instance, like that thing now of gripping, like because like that thing of like gripping and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
The woman will just like it will just demoralize her. Like she's basically it will make her so ashamed of herself because that's like to be gripped as a woman, like any other man won't like. It would be very hard for another man to like
Mm-hmm.
especially because like excuse your virginity.
Um,
Say you're a virgin and you got gripped as a virgin. Do you get what I'm saying?
I
It's
get
like
what I get what you're
yeah,
saying, but you said something about men are built from trauma
yeah. The trauma.
and
What I mean by that is like that. So like if that woman, that's traumatic for a woman to experience grief, right? If she
mm-hmm.
looks on the positive, because life you have to look on the positive every time. Again, I sound like
Like
I'm justifying
carry
rapists.
on. No,
I'm not.
carry on.
It
We get
sounds
the
like
point.
I am, but you have to look from the positive, right?
TJ loves
So
grapes.
exactly, I don't love grapes so.
He
But
eats
what I'm saying is,
grapes.
hey, the eating.
The
What I'm
eatery.
saying is, if that woman removes her emotion from it, because everyone is emotional, everyone ties things to their emotions and how things make them feel at the point and what happened, right? If that woman removes, okay, I was gripped, I didn't like being gripped, but now I have a child. This is
Mm-hmm.
my child. Like, I don't have a father for the child, but okay, what can I do for this child I have now? This child can grow up and prevent and heal the lives of so many other childs
Children, yeah.
that that child can make a difference in the world. And so that's my point. Look at the positive. Look from the positive
On the
side.
positive side.
But I also understand what you're saying, Oba. That's my take on
Okay.
it.
To me, like, yeah, there's one thing that I like being unbiased in the sense that if you're looking at the positive, you can't neglect the negative. You get me? So you have to also look at it as, yo, this is, like Oba is saying, right? You have to put yourself in the woman's shoes too. You get me? So she's going to be feeling, oh yeah, like this is not my child. Like this is not a child I even wanted in the first place. So why should I go ahead and keep this child? You get me? So that's what I'm saying. It should be left up to the woman to decide at that particular point in that particular incident. Other than that, I don't see a reason why it should be legal, because the activity itself, you can even, let's say you wanted to enjoy, like you wanted to do like stuff with your guy, like you wanted to go crazy or whatever. There are so many other things you guys can do. Why choose the only one that leads to a baby? You get me? So when that child comes, I don't know why you're running away from it, because you know exactly what you signed up for. Like that, we've gone to school, except then we can speak about like teenagers misbehaving. That's just sad. That's just sad. Like when you see like 14-year-old, 15-year-old people like, oh
Misbehavior.
yeah, misbehaving. Like I don't know what that discovery is, but you get me. So in those situations, well, they are uneducated, I guess. But also in primary, I was like 16 when I finished high school. So, and I knew about biology. Like in school, they teach you biology. You know what happens if this meets this, it gets to that. You get me? So I'm not going to be on the side of, oh, they don't want the child, and they should just go scot free. You committed the crime, you served the time. Kachi said it. Do the crime, do the time. So the child came, and now you want to run back. There's no going back. If you run,
just to piggyback of what
if
Ozone
you
said,
run,
right? If you run, you die.
you die.
Same in Fortnite, you die. You can't run and not die. But okay, I'm going to answer the Oba has another question. I just want to like round up this thing in terms of the grip thing, right? The main question I always ask is, how do you,
Hey,
okay?
TJ, sorry, I want to read my chat. They said
Alright.
they said Emperor said you're speaking in nonsense, bro. So who? I'm guessing you were talking to, because I think that was the time TJ was talking. Was it me? I don't know. But Fortune is like, on God, hell nah. He's like, you're speaking like a misogynist. So why do you say so? Why do you say so?
Okay.
And I hope you know the meaning of a misogynist, by the way.
Oh, man.
Emperor,
right
Google the meaning of a misogynist right now, because I think you're misusing that word. Not to shit on you, but you need to, understand.
Oh,
the
but I
meaning of
can't, man. I
misogynist.
can't right now. I don't talk
If
to
your
her
mom
anymore.
said you were born by grape, how will you feel? That's a good question. If your mom said you were born by grape, how will you feel? There's nothing to feel about that. I can't lie to you, bro. You're alive.
My point was, I just want to talk about the grape stuff.
You're
real
alive,
quick.
my guy. It's just
We
like,
should get
sorry,
okay.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Guys, don't worry. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, like, and teacher was going to say, like, we're working on it, guys. We'll invite, like, we'll
Yeah,
also
we're
want
going
to have
invite
like
girls
females
and
on the
stuff.
stream and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
when we get there,
Very soon, guys.
when we
Very
get
soon.
there,
Very soon.
we'll cross that bridge. But you said if your mom said you were born by grape, how would you feel? The same way if you grow up in a single parent household, how would you feel? You feel in a
Exactly.
certain way, you lack some stuff. It's just it, but you still, it doesn't define your outcome in life. You can still become someone tomorrow. Are you getting me? Like, so does that mean you should end the person's life because of that particular fact? People that were born disabled, should they kill them? People that were conjoined twins, should they throw them in the bin?
Yeah.
Like, come
I
on.
just want to make this point because I want to answer. Oba has another question. My point is, in terms of the grape pist, right? I think if, again, I'm not justifying it, but how would a woman get graped? How would a woman get graped right now?
My chat.
What? They're trolling, right?
This guy said, like, we are talking of traumatic situation. Man, he's saying she should be positive.
Wait, I know it sounds, it sounds, it sounds
My chat.
delusional and stuff, but
No.
I'm just saying.
No, he has a
No,
point.
it does
Though.
sound delusional because
They both. You don't sound delusional.
No, it does, because if we think of it, the reality, right?
Mhm.
Someone is actually great. I'm saying positivity. Like, there's no positivity in that certain situation. I understand. But my point is, it's not even about positivity. I want to go back to like the roots. How is someone gripped, right? You're gripped if you're okay. Say you're in your house. I'm not trying to blame the women for being gripped or anything, but you're only gripped if you're in certain places. Does that make sense? Like if you're in your house, if you're with friends, you can't be gripped.
Let's talk about that.
So you have to prevent. Prevention is better than cure, guys. Prevention is better than cure. So try as much as possible to prevent being gripped. Like again, I'm not justifying. Say for instance, like you're a woman.
Yo, guys on TikTok, you guys just let TJ land. Let TJ land.
Guy,
just
let
TJ land.
Just immodestly as a woman, right? No, hold on. You're just immodestly as a woman.
You guys just hold on. No, we're not justifying it. Just listen. Just listen for a bit. Right? You guys hold that trigger. Just listen for a bit.
You're just immodestly, and you're like in certain places at certain times at night or whatever. I presume most
he's saying
at night.
Yeah, most like evil deeds are carried out in the night.
You can't be great in the
and
daylight
also
when everyone can see you.
also there are situations where it's likely that this is going to happen, right? It's just like going to the club and not expecting to see alcohol in the club. It's dumb. You get me? Like there are situations where if they tell you, oh, if you go out by so time in the night at so location, there are usually shootings going on there. So why would you go to that place by so time at that night? Wouldn't that increase the likelihood of you getting shot? You get.
And but you're saying
that's what TJ is trying to say.
Some men don't care. I personally believe that as a woman, right? As a young woman, right? As Kachi, right? Like you have to kind of like prevent stuff. So if you do everything to prevent and then you get gripped, like we can understand that, we can say okay. But I'm not saying. Look, I'm not justifying.
Let me say some. TJ, this is for the guys on TikTok because they are leaving out this part. Look what TJ is saying. This right. He said you guys have heard all he said, but also he's also saying in situations like that, prevention is better than cure, right? In the sense that there's also prevention, like adding severe laws, severe punishment that happens to people that that grape people, right? People that grape people should be severely punished. There are standard rules put out there. There are terms they should serve and all that. The government has also done that part. You get me? So prevention is better than cure. Meaning, if the government is also working on the fact that if the government and the police they're also working on the fact that look, this carries people grape people, right? So we're going to put structures that punish people that grape people. That's also going to prevent people from graping people too. You get me? So TJ is talking about one side. I'm telling you guys the other side. So he knows both of them. It's just you guys are not letting him land. You guys are.
But you're in mode, right? Just star your comments. Like I'll read. We can't read your comments as the way, but I think we should switch. Yes. I think we should switch topics. I think we spent a while on grape, but bottom line, we already said everything we want to say. Like prevention is better than cure, being good situation and stuff like that. And Oba said something. Sorry, I just want to say something. Oba said something, right? Oba said something like they should. Let me go back here. Oba, you're the moderator, so just moderate all the chats and pin chats and bring them up later on. But it says something about it doesn't like they should not need to prevent shit. That doesn't make sense, Oba. He's saying they should not need to prevent shit. I'm presuming you're saying that because men should conduct themselves, but we know how men are, right? Just like telling.
Okay. Speak.
No.
Let me write this down. Speak.
Yeah, because he's saying like they should not need to prevent anything. Like the world is not. I don't know what you mean by that. But the world is not.
But if you're saying there should not be prevention, right? It's just like saying there shouldn't be a military. Like exactly. You should always be prepared to you should always be ready to tackle stuff and also be ready to not put yourself in situations. You get me? Like the need for the military when there's no war is not a stupid cause. They're not doing that because
what I mean by how men are, I don't mean like every man is a grapist. What I mean is that all men, like we know like men are sexually driven, like we have high testosterone, right? And we know there are some men that take advantage of their power and stuff and do this thing. So that's what I mean by how men are. I don't mean every man is a grapist, but we know like there are thieves in the world, there are robbers in the world, there are grapists.
You know
right? So prevent it, man.
Yeah, you know what?
Prevent it. That's what I always say.
What's like kind of funny about what TJ said? Like he said, how men are, right? And when he said, how men are, honestly, I heard like when he's saying man, in the Bible they say man, right? Man is man and woman, right? I'm saying man is man and woman, right? So in general, like let's not overlook the fact that grapists can be male or female. By the way, like grapists can be male and female. So guys in the chat, I hope you guys also know that because I've said this countless times. this stream is never a stream of, I don't, all this gender stuff, like whatever happens on the left happens on the right. Like it's a balanced world in the sense, you get me? So there are rapists on both sides of the gender spectrum, you get me? So guys in chat, keep that in mind. So we're speaking on, I know TJ has been saying man, and he probably means like the male gender, right? Is it lagging or is this me? TJ, I can't see your camera moving, by the way. But I'm just letting you guys know, man. Like people, I've heard stories of people, like guys getting raped too. So TJ is having some network issues, I think.
Yo, I'm back.
Alright, welcome back, bro. Let me quickly read the chat. Prevention can't do nothing to grape. It's just like I get what you're saying, but then it can reduce the amount of grapes.
I totally understand what he's saying. Like, we know that if you prevent it, it can still happen. Fact. But okay, let's start from preventing it. Now, if we've prevented it and it does happen, let's go back to the topic of abortion. Should you abort? Personally, right? I'm speaking from a male perspective, and I'm also thinking about the women. I think it should be allowed because it's unwanted consent, right? And the child that you're bearing, right? This is a logical perspective now. The child that you're bearing is not a child that you wanted to have because it was unwanted and unwilled, right? So abortion should be allowed in such circumstances. However, my whole point that I want you guys to take from what I'm saying is that if the person chooses not to abort
the mission,
it's there's something like it's kind of looked up. It's looked differently as someone that aborts, if that makes sense. Like, say everyone that most people that are gripped abort, right? But someone that doesn't abort and is gripped, people ask the person, but why did you do such a thing? Why? After being gripped, blah blah, this man was so this, and you still aborted and you still kept the child, and the person gives their reasons. You know, that's the person's reason, and it shouldn't be shamed. Like, that's the person's own personal opinion, and maybe you can learn from that because again, everyone thinks of abortion, grip, like united, which they're connected. But my point is, yes, you should be allowed to abort it. At the same time, it doesn't mean you have to. You don't have to.
Yeah. Like I said,
like
it should be left in the hands of the woman to decide at that situation. Like, of course, like, it's an unfortunate situation, and like I always say, the person that's, the grapist should be severely punished without a doubt. We're saying this from the point of, okay, the rapist has been taken care of and all that's, like, the proper, term, he's serving his term or whatever is going on, right? We're talking about, okay, now the child is about to, be killed or be saved here. So that should be left to the woman to decide because she's the one that's still going to go into labor. She's the one that has the trauma. Like Emperor was talking about the trauma. She said trauma will be there for 20 years. Without a doubt, trauma can, although it's not a must, it might be there for 20 years, but it's going to be there for a long. In fact, it might never. I think it won't even go. Like is because it's just. She can heal from it. She can heal from it, but the memories will still be there, right?
The memories are there. The memories are there.
She can heal from it and become, better off, and even be part of the force behind fighting this rapist and all that. You get me? But that's all from healing. You get me? So TJ was saying, like, someone that keeps
pop minis. Very important.
Very important. You need to hydrate yourself. Very important.
Drink bigs.
Big boy. Anyway, so what I'm saying, this guy's never going to let me land my point.
No.
What I'm saying in effect is prevention is very necessary. If there is no prevention in the first place, it means things will carry on without consequences.
Because guys, imagine you guys are fathers, right?
And sorry, real quick.
Go ahead.
The prevention I'm talking about is not one-sided, because you guys would be the first to jump on that. It is not a one-sided prevention. Prevention from both men and women. And how do women prevent it? Women prevent it by, staying away from locations that most of the times people around that place are either influenced by drugs, by alcohol, and the rates are, it's clear that, okay, if you go here, the likelihood of this happening to you is more. So stay away from there. Go to places that are safer for you. You get me? Then guys should scorn at such behaviors. Guys should be up there to defend women outside in the public from people like that. You get me? Like, when you see things like this, you don't just, it's not my business. You get me? You have to do what needs to be done. And also the government, those various countries and their government systems should have, laws imposed on people that do these things. and consequences for that. So it's not just the society trying to handle this. Government's part of the society in a way, right? So so the government is like a three-way thing. Man, woman, and the government, like we all have to come together and prevent this from happening. If there are no rules put down to punish people that rape people, there would be no reason for them not to kind of do that. You get me? I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying they should do it, but there will be no reason to stop them from doing it. You get me? So
guys,
that's
again,
a form of
like the video on Love Gator, guys. Don't forget to like.
You guys
Love
go
Gator.
to Twitch, man.
Follow Love Gator. Follow my Twitch as well, TJ Rockstar. But yeah, I like the way we spent about. I think we spent about 20 minutes.
Yeah, the chat didn't let us.
On the what's it called?
Grape.
Minorities.
The grape.
Grape is like a minority for abortion. Again, remember the topic.
It's very sensitive too.
Like, yeah, it's very sensitive, but like it's a minority, like very minority. But we spent a lot of time on it because we understand, like it does happen.
And that's the main reason. I think that's the main reason why abortion exists. So it actually makes sense that we spent a lot of time on that.
Because that's the main reason. Like, if not for grape, I don't think
that should not be legalized.
It shouldn't be legalized because I think it started because of grape, and then people abused it as we're talking about, and started doing like having casual sex,
farming,
and using abortion. Yeah, so it was abused in my opinion. But I think we can close the discussion there. Oba had a question in chat here. He said, in terms of abortion rights, what of children with deformed children, people with
exactly, that's what I was telling you. There are people that are deformed that you have to. What will you do? Will you kill them? What will you do? Like, some people kill them. Maybe if it depends on how bad. Like, if it's deformity from like radiations or something like that, hey, that's different. But let's say maybe you're from Alabama, you smashed your cousin. Holy, putting myself in a
zugzwang.
Anyway, holy. So you're from Alabama and you're misbehaving. You go and smash your sister, and you get an imbecile. Man, you have to.
Well, that's the definition of imbecile, right? Someone that is
like
an imbecile is like a deformed.
Yeah, like it's like basically.
Wow,
are you laughing?
God forgive me.
God will not forgive me.
The imbeciles I've met. People like Uzon himself, one of them. Holy, carry on.
But yeah, chat. Fuck you, you're laughing. It's not funny. But yeah, like let's say you do that. So why should you be excused from raising the child? You knew exactly what you were doing. You wanted to smash your and she wanted to smash you. So you guys went to that thing, knowing the consequences.
Yeah,
so you should not be excused from the consequences. That's my.
You guys know, like, I always go into like the deeper. So Oba, you mentioned deformality now. Do you know the reasons why a child comes out that way? I think there are scientific reasons, and I think
we can write them down.
Those reasons, right? Yeah, I think those scientific reasons for deformalities, they're not like rare guns or anything. So I said rare guns. They're not like rare guns, right? They are certain. It might be. I don't know. It's like ASAA blood type. It might be stuff like the way you had sex with someone. I don't know, like the positioning. I don't know.
Gamma
I don't
ray.
know the reasons. Yeah, but there are certain reasons
Gamma
why.
lizard.
Yeah, from having sex with someone normally, maybe the person has certain
genes. Yeah, like it's a genetic thing. It's a genetic
before
thing.
you this thing, you have to
check yourself.
Find out about your spouse.
It's all about checking for checks.
And then find a spouse that has a less likelihood of deformalities. And even if that does happen, you've already committed to this person. The child being deformed, you shouldn't kill the child because it's deformed. Come on, man. Like,
like
that deformed
the deformed child, because the child is deformed doesn't mean it has no right to life. Because there's right to life regardless. You get me?
But so again, you say, we're speaking from
deformed or not deformed, the child still has its right to life.
Okay, answering the question, you're saying that's not answering the question, but we're answering the question like, if the child is deformed, right? His question is, should we abort? Is that not your question, Oba? Your question is,
and the answer,
you saying not everyone has the right, like not the point everyone has the right to life. I don't know what you mean, Oba. You have to clarify. You have to be succinct
like
here.
You're in Oba Nikoro, chromosomal abnormalities. Yeah, like it has to do with like the chromosomes and all that.
Yeah,
and also like radiation. If radiations occur, like they also destroy like the genetical. composition too. So yeah, it all boils down to like chromosomes and stuff at the end of the day. So something led to something that destroyed the chromosome, blah 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 blah. The scientific nitty-gritties that I'm not.
Oh, but I didn't say prevention. I'm not saying prevention answers the question. I'm saying before you have sex with someone, right? You have to first of all ensure that the person is a suitable candidate in terms of the genetics of the person and stuff like that. Then I'm not saying everyone is perfect, but then go ahead, because there's one thing in doing it before and another thing in aborting after. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's just common
Smoking and
sense,
drinking. Yeah, don't
So
forget
if that
smoking
does
and
happen
drinking.
after, you should have known before that
It's still the
there's a
same.
likelihood of it happening. But if you don't know before and it happens and you abort, then it's your fault, man.
Yeah,
Like,
you didn't do the check. You didn't do your
you
part.
didn't do
That's the
the-
prevention
that's my
part.
point. You have to
That's why
take
prevention is
accountability, man.
necessary. Prevention is
Yeah.
always necessary.
Take accountability for your actions, man.
It's
That's
just
my-
like
that's
it's
my
just
whole
like
point.
telling me if I'm driving, I should not wear my seatbelt. Like something can happen. The reason, or you're saying if I'm driving, police should not stop me for not wearing my seatbelt. Why shouldn't he? Why shouldn't he? I heard in, I don't know where it is, but if you cross the zebra crossing when you are not meant to cross, you pay a fine, because you pay in Dubai. Yes, I met someone. He said in Dubai, if you cross the zebra crossing when you're not meant to cross, whether there are cars on the road or not, you pay a fine because you're putting your life in danger. You get me? So you still pay. You get me? So rules are not put out there to to take away blame from one of the victims or anything. No, rules are put out there to reduce the likelihood of something happening. So the reason why in let's say in Dubai, why if you cross without the signal telling you to cross, someone might knock you down. Let's say you don't look well, someone knocks you down, and he who knocks you down would still have to pay at the end of the day, because if you're a good driver, you should not be knocking people down, right? But also, if you're a good driver, if you're a smart individual, you should not be crossing the road when the signal doesn't say you should cross the road. It's that simple. So there are two sides. The thing is, you guys will focus on one thing, because one side, I've noticed, like once we're talking about the male side of it, you guys always like throwing questions, which is good, but don't neglect the other side too. There are two sides of this.
Pin all your questions.
There are two sides of this,
Typing
right?
a lot, and I can't
So,
see everything.
Prevention is always better than cure. Prevention
I
is
just want to
always
say,
better
like,
than cure.
touch on what you said, Uzom. Like accountability, that's very important, man.
Mhm.
Like very, very important. Now I'm just reading stuff about. I actually never knew all this stuff, but it's saying here birth defects. Like, what is it here? Yeah, the reasons for birth defects. I don't know if you guys knew, but it's saying birth defects are common. Every 4.5 minutes, a baby in the US is born with a birth defect. But anyways,
I'll bet
the
you the real.
the reasons for birth defects are genetic changes, a side effect of a medication, substance or chemical exposure, and pregnancy complications. Those are the main reasons. And all those reasons are genetic changes. Those are like, obviously, all those reasons are basically things you can research and, work on, to avoid. And if it does happen. But Oba's question here, right, Uzom? He said, would we
Melvin,
keep a
this is
child-
TJ. This is TJ. This is TJ I always play for now. So we're talking.
Oh, you have 3 ads.
we're
You have to
talking.
watch the advertisements.
you have to bring the bread in. Cody.
Exactly. Would you keep a child that will be fully dependent on you and is considered to suffer when born? That's a good question, Oba.
Ooh, that's a spicy
That's
one.
a good question.
That's a spicy one.
Let me answer. Let me go first. Yeah.
Okay.
I think in life, again, I'm going to answer this question in a philosophical way. I'm not going to give you. I'm going to give you a direct answer in a very weird way, right? I think in life, suffering is involved in life. That's the first thing I have to say.
What you know?
Because when you
Alberto
say to
Del Rio
suffer-
is a wrestler. Sorry, TJ. Carry on.
He's a wrestler. When you said would like to suffer when born, okay.
He's on
Let me-
Twitch, by
oh,
the
you
way,
didn't
guys.
hear me? What I said
TTV
is,
underscore TJ.
In life, suffering is involved in every aspect of life, from birth to death.
Yep.
I repeat, suffering is involved in every aspect of life, from birth to death. So when you say, if a child is fully dependent and is considered
That's
to
your
suffer when
cross.
born,
Mm-hmm.
I'll say yes. I'll say yes. You're saying yes or no? I'll say yes. I'll say yes.
You shouldn't still kill the child.
Yeah.
It
I'll
should
say
not,
yes.
in no situation. It's a clear thing. Like killing
Yeah.
goes against the right of the individual. So why should it be allowed? Killing is killing. Mbappe is Mbappe. You get. So
Julian.
yeah, like come on, guys. You can't be excusing something because of like that's a human being. It's just like saying,
again-
okay, I like the way you're saying that about deformities, because it's just like saying, oh, because I heard there was this, I saw a friend posted this recently, like somewhere in US they are reducing the amount of funding they give for like black universities, like universities that have like black students and stuff like that. They are reducing the amount of funding, like money they give out to those universities. So in that situation, they have their reasons and all that. I'm not supposed, I don't even know the context or anything, but is that a good reason? That's color. That's like because of color, right? Because of, not, although it doesn't really have to do with color, that there might be some other things in there, like maybe because of
but maybe that's the main reason. Maybe that's
it depends. Maybe because they've noticed that, oh, more people of color are causing violence in this community, so they don't want to encourage them to come to that place to study. I don't know whether you see, there are different reasons. Like, these are tactics. Like, it's just like
the pinning.
It's just, yeah, the pinning is important. I can't really find the analogy I want to give you guys, but some certain tactics can help in some other ways that people are not seeing. Like, the normal eye will just be like, oh, it's just color or something. But also, I'm trying to rebut what Oba is saying. So because I'm black, does it mean I should not have funding? Exactly. So because in some people's eye, being black is a deformity. Yeah.
But Oba, you're right in saying it's all opinion. In fact, everyone has an opinion,
I don't think right to life is not an opinion, my brother. It's
no, right to life is not. No, right now is not an opinion.
It's not an opinion.
Yeah, but
you should not kill the child. Period.
Yeah. You shouldn't.
You should not kill the child. Right to life is not an opinion.
But yes, we'll keep a child. Again, you can say we're seeking
I can only say.
Blah blah blah. Wait, Oba, are you saying right to life is an opinion?
Yeah, ask him that question. Like, ask him.
Right to life an opinion, Oba?
Ask him that question.
But the truth is, it's actually an opinion, because if you look at the definition of opinion, hold on. Like, the definition of opinion right here,
Google it.
Right?
Let me read this chart real quick.
It's actually an opinion. Funny enough,
he just likes to open his mouth anyhow.
It's actually an opinion definition.
Anyway, I think I'm just going to start skipping Emperor's comments because it's not adding any
opinion, a view or judgment.
You're just bashing TJ
about something not necessarily based on fact or knowledge.
Or not, you just don't want to understand.
A statement of advice by an expert.
I'm just going to ignore your chats if I see any dumb stuff you post. Actually, like Emperor guy is just funny. These people who have misconceptions or miscarriages. Miscarriages are not what. Like TJ, listen, he said those people who has misconceptions or miscarriage, they also kill. That's not killing. That is not killing.
Miscarriages aren't killing. These aren't killing.
Come on now, let's be logical here now.
That happen,
Like, what is that?
These aren't killings. Miscarriages aren't killings.
Like, come on. And you're saying we're Mumu here, but look at what you're saying now. This is
the Mugu master himself.
You're the Mugu master here. Like, what are you saying? If you want to have your funding, go to your country. Exactly. So there are perspectives to these things, because I saw a video of this. This was a black chick. She came to the filling station. I don't know the argument she had with her fellow woman, and the woman dared her to hit her car, and this woman went into her car and ran into her car, like deformed the car, like filling station. You're not even in your land.
And the woman dared her to do it.
He dared her. She was like, they were arguing. She was like, I'll do it. And this one entered the car, smashed. This is in a white man's country. Did that. So would you really blame them when they start, taking back all this stuff and wanting to push you guys out of the country? Like, you guys will go there and act as if you own the land. Even the guys that own the land are not misbehaving like that. But you're going there to misbehave. Then you're not expecting not to get punished. Bruh.
If I believe life begins when the baby comes out of the womb, then right to life is meaningless if I abort. I'll read it one more time.
Say it one more time.
If I believe life begins when the baby comes out of the womb, then right to life is meaningless if I abort. No, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yes, he's trying to say in the womb the baby is not a human being.
The baby is not.
Is that what you're saying?
That's where you fall wrong there, because according to biology, right? Biologists have said once. I said it earlier in the show. Earlier in the podcast when you went here, biologists have said that you can Google it right now. That once the sperm and once there's fertilization between the sperm and the egg,
a zygote is a human being.
You are 0 days old or 0 minutes old at that point. It's just like you're saying you're 6 months. Before 6 months, there was 5 months, 4 months, 3 months, 2 months, 1 month. And then before 1 month, there were some days, there were some milliseconds. Those milliseconds is the start of the child. There's no, there's
no here.
I don't know I don't even know. I think I can. Would this be 2 or would this be? I have a video on like it might be too strong on like abortion,
Yeah.
right? It will be too strong. Or are you guys? If you can't watch this
Yeah,
video,
you can
guys,
tell
or
them
if
to
you
go and
can't
watch
view
it.
stuff,
Yeah, tell them where to watch it or something.
yeah, you can
If you're
go on
really,
YouTube
yeah, go
and
and learn
just
about this, guys.
like go on YouTube and look at abortion and like what is
You guys
involved
did
in like
biology.
killing a
Maybe you didn't
child.
listen. You didn't listen in
It's
biology
actually
class.
very
You
brutal,
need to
man.
pay attention in biology class. It's very
There's
important.
also, oh my gosh, I watched this thing when I was in Spain, Uzom.
Hmm.
I watched this thing when I was in Spain on abortion. There's a documentary on abortion on Netflix. I don't know the name. But if you go on Netflix and it shows the process, it's actually a life story of a woman that, went through abortion and stuff like that, and how later on, I can't remember the full story, but it's actually, just go on Netflix, there's a documentary about abortion. It's also very educational.
Yes, so sorry, my chat. Opponents of some opponents, right, of abortion argue that
It's an
it can
opinion.
have
People believe life
negative
begins without stage.
psychological and emotional consequences for the woman involved. They express concern about potential regrets, grief, and long term. Of course, people always overlook what these things do to their bodies. You get me? Like the other day, I was watching a podcast. Someone was talking about vasectomy. Like if you tie your sperm tubes or whatever they're called, and you can't produce sperm. First off, why are you tying it? You're tying it just to mess around. Does that make any sense? You're tying it just to mess around. It makes no sense, first off. And now the person is saying, oh, when you tie it, oh, it's just a normal surgery. Your body was built in a certain way. God created you from head to toe, and everything is freaking formulated. There's a pattern. Biology has told you there's a pattern, there are cycles and all that. So you're stopping one cycle and thinking you still be normal. It's just stupidity.
All right, Uzom, let's do a bit of education here for chat, right?
All
I
right,
don't know if you can pull up. Do you have like Google on your?
I don't have a
on your
pull-up
stream?
bar. What? Oh?
Do you have Google on your stream? Like I have Google side by side with my Discord here, so I'm pulling up a
Okay.
video because Oba made up some good points here.
Okay.
I actually need to I didn't even know all these points. So he said people believe life begins at the fetal stage, the germinal stage, or the embryonic stage. You know the different stages, right? The germinal is like 0 to 2 weeks, embryonic is 3 to 8 weeks, and fetal is 9 weeks. I mean, we don't need to watch the video, but I can just say what I see.
Yeah,
here
say
on
please.
Google, right?
Yeah, let's just say it.
So the germinal stage right now they're saying is when a baby is 0 to 2 weeks. The embryonic stage is when a baby is 3 to 8 weeks, and it develops its midbrain, its forebrain, and its hindbrain. And at 9 weeks, it's fully developed, right?
Okay.
So Oba is saying people believe life begins at any of those stages. So therefore, his point is, or even when the child is out of the womb, that's the actual child. So he's saying, if I believe life begins when the baby comes out of the womb, do you get what I'm saying? He said people believe the baby is a baby at the germinal stage, people believe is a baby at the embryonic stage, and people believe is a baby at the fetal stage. And I already explained the 3 stages.
Can you explain it one more time?
The germinal is 0 to 2 weeks, right?
Okay.
Embryonic is 3 to 8 weeks, and fetal is 9 weeks.
What are the
right?
differences, though? What are the differences?
The difference is in the germinal stage now here, right? So the germinal stage begins at conception when the sperm and egg cell unite in one of the 2 fallopian tubes. The fertilized egg is called a zygote. We already know this. So that's the germinal stage, right? Let me just read a bit more. Blah 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 blah. These are just all scientific, but that's the basic.
That's a good point.
That's the basic.
Made.
The embryonic stage, right? At this point, the mass of cells is now known as an embryo. The beginning of the 3rd week after conception marks the start of embryonic period, a time when the mass of cells become distinct as a human.
As a human.
The embryonic stage,
okay.
Yeah, the embryonic stage plays an important role in the development of the brain. So the embryonic stage is basically for the brain, right? Now,
but the human being structure now is formed.
Yeah, for the human being structure, the brain.
Like he's a baby, basically. Like
around the 4th week, the head begins to form, quickly followed by the eyes, nose, ears, and mouth. The blood vessel that will become the heart start to pulse during the 5th week. Buds that will form the arms and legs appear. By the 8th week of development, the embryo has all of the basic organs and parts, except those of the sex organs.
Just let him finish.
All right, do you understand? So that's the embryonic stage. So the germinal stage is just, again, it's just the fertilization stage basically. And let me just read a bit more about the germinal stage. It says, just a few hours after conception, the single-celled zygote begins making a journey down the fallopian tube to the uterus. Cell division begins approximately 24 to 36 hours after conception. And then say stuff here about the skins, like the ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. So there are different skins, digestive and respiratory systems, and muscle and skeletal systems that are formed as well. So that's the germinal stage, right? Those the cells and the skins, right? Like
Crystal
corals
skin.
and stuff like that, crystals. Embryonic is more of like the formation of the body, like the organs, the eyes, the nose, the brain, right? And then the fetal, here it
When they're
says
on
the
their
fetal,
feet. With 2
the
legs.
fetal, once cell differentiation is mostly complete, the embryo enters the next stage and becomes a fetus, becomes known as a fetus. The fetal period of a prenatal develop marks more important changes in the brain. This period of development begins during the 9th week, lasts until birth. This stage is marked by an amazing change and growth. So the early body, okay, these were like the sex. So it's saying during the 3rd month of gestation, the sex organs begin to differentiate. This is when the sex organs come out, right? And stuff like that. So there are different stages, right? So Oba is saying here, I can't read everything, obviously, but Oba is saying here, he's saying people believe the baby is a baby at any of these 3 stages. That's what people believe. And he's saying, if I believe that life begins, if he believes that life begins
out
when
of
the
the
baby
womb.
comes out of the womb, then right to life is meaningless if he aborts. Do you understand?
I get what he's saying. So he's still
now
trying to
let's
tie
break
it
that
back
down.
to opinions. That's what I'm saying.
To opinions.
That's a
But-
very good one. That's a very good one. And it's the same point I made. I don't know whether you remember when I said earlier in the stream that if you want to fry egg now and you go and you crack that egg and you see there's a chick inside that egg, would you put that egg in the frying pan? Like, would you crack the chick? That a live chick is just, you crack the egg and you see a chick. Will you crack it and put it in the frying pan and fry? That's not egg. You get me? Like, that's not, like, that is an animal. Yeah, that's a chick, a babe.
A hot one.
Yeah, so a hot one, if you put in the frying pan, you get, but you can turn it into a hot chick, holy. But you get me? So that's a good point, because I also made that point too. I also have like mixed perception there.
I said this content is better than you getting 10 points after 10 games in Fortnite.
Normal.
1 point per game, holy.
Anyway, so he has a good point, because I also like, it's common sense in a way. It's common sense in a
your
way.
point is
He has a good point.
dog shit. Your point is dog shit.
I feel tell me why.
Let me tell you what point is dog shit.
Let me quickly read. Yeah, keep talking now. I'm going to mute myself.
Clearly, right? Your point is dog shit clearly because dog shit. I'm sure the when I say dog shit, but yeah, it's saying germinal 0 to 2 weeks. So if you want to account the formation of life, where life is actually starts forming, it's in the germinal stage. Your point is debunked. I've debunked your point, but because the germinal stage is clearly 0 to 2 weeks. Basically, they're saying the cells and everything starts forming. It's just like saying a footballer, right? A footballer became Ronaldo from his mother's womb. He didn't become Ronaldo after he was born. Like what? I don't understand.
Although I see what also what Melvin is saying though is
I don't understand.
You know, there's a part you said his first breath. Life comes with breath of life.
Guy.
Wait. But there's something you read. First breath. So that's what when I heard that actually like kind of clicked that this baby can't breathe yet. Like think about it, the baby can't breathe. So baby doesn't actually have life in that situation. If you can't breathe, then there's no life actually.
No, I never said anything about breath.
No, you said something about breath. Maybe I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you.
It
takes its first breath. I don't know. At one stage.
I didn't say breath.
Oh, I don't know what you read then. Okay.
Because here they're saying the germinal stage, right? It's just like germination, basically germinal, planting a seed. The moment you plant a seed in the soil, the moment the sperm and the egg fertilize, the baby has started forming. Obviously, it doesn't have eyes, ears, nose, mouth yet, but it has started forming. The starting stage of formation
442.
is like.
So about 442.
We should search up the definition of life. Okay, what's life? Life. We already know what life is like.
Okay, let me quickly read the chat here.
Already know what life is over.
Just Google the meaning of life. Actually, let's see what he's talking about.
Life, the condition that distinguishes animals and plants from inorganic matter.
Oh, wow.
Including the capacity for growth, reproduction, functional activity, and continual change preceding death. That's one definition. And
I think about that you just shot yourself in the foot.
Exactly, like the existence
you shouldn't have let us
individual human being or animal. Yeah. Come on, bro.
You just shot yourself in the foot there. Actually, you just. I was kind of even siding it, man. Yeah, you guys go over to
the
Twitch,
biological definition. This way we have to again. You're looking at the biological definition. There's also like, biological definition of life. Let's go there.
Sounds like a pastor. Sounds like a pastor is just likes to open his mouth anyhow. These people who have if you want to have
Misogynic.
it
Is it the guy that said
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
misogynist?
yeah.
I
So,
beg, man.
some
Shout out to you, man. You're making the
yeah,
content
like
better,
shout out to him. I remember the time I was on Twitch. Remember the time I was on Twitch that someone was bashing me from your chat. The guy the guy was a W, like he actually like was W
Yeah,
at the
shout
end of
out,
the day.
man.
Like we
we
need
love
this.
haters,
We
guys.
love
we
it.
don't, we
Like
don't want everyone to agree with us.
you don't
man.
have to agree, but when you sit down and actually construct yourself in a way where you can learn. Like if there's one thing to debunk, like Oba now. Oba is arguing from the point of he wants to understand. You get me? If you're arguing to want to understand, it's always helpful
Oba,
for the
shout
stream.
out to you, man. Oba, shout out to you for what you just said.
What did he say?
Oba, shout out to you because here I'm looking at the biological definition of life, and the biological definition of life is defined as any system capable of performing functions such as eating, metabolizing, excreting, breathing, moving, growing, reproducing, and responding to external stimuli. So, Oba, that's the germinal stage is basically the baby growing. So I don't understand.
No, say that again. Say that again.
Life is defined as any system capable of performing functions such as eating, metabolizing, excreting.
Does the baby
breathing.
metabolize, excrete? I know it excretes through the
No,
mother.
they're saying such as. You don't have to do all of them. Like such as.
Such
like,
as.
Such as eating, metabolizing, excreting,
eating.
breathing, moving, growing, reproducing, and responding to external stimuli. So I don't understand. That's life, you know.
Yeah, you kind of.
No, your point's not dog shit. I was joking. I said I was trolling.
No, it's trolling.
I was trolling, bro.
It's TJ, guys. Come on.
The trolls.
It's TJ, we troll here for a living. Like it's a serious topic, but we don't forget to troll. It's very important. Very important for the conversations, guys. Anyway, I'll just quickly read my chats here. TJ, let's read chats real quick. Some opponents of
Richard.
Yeah, we answered that. We talked about that. Legalizing abortion allows it to be performed under regulated medical condition. Okay, reducing the risk of unsafe and illegal procedures. Okay, like those guys that use the hanger. Holy advocates argue that the legal abortion, medical care, protecting women's health and potentially saving lives. Actually, that's I didn't see it from that. Like I said, he said legalizing abortion allows it to be performed under regulated medical conditions, reducing the risk of unsafe and illegal procedures. Advocates argue that legal abortion, medical care, maybe I don't know how you phrase this here. Legal abortion, medical care, protecting women's health and potentially saving lives. Basically, it has its pros and cons. Yes, like I said. But there won't be pros and cons if you know, like, see, you guys are, I get what you're saying, like, the pros and cons, like, okay, you're in this situation now, you don't want a child, yeah, this is what to do, these are the best routes to follow and all that, yes, but it all goes back to why are you in that situation, you get me, you know what you did to get there, why did you do what you did to get there, and now you're facing the consequences, why don't you want to face it, straight up? Why are you looking for a way to kill what you already initiated? You get me? That's why I'm telling you guys, it's better for you to prevent it. You can do any other thing. You can abstain. You can maybe just kiss. You can maybe just cuddle. I don't know. Yeah. There are so many other things you can do.
Let's actually just talk about like the situation, because we were saying prevention.
Yeah.
Let's actually talk about like what you're saying. Like, we were saying prevention and stuff like that. But killing the child, personally, let's go back to the original question. The title of the video.
Let me just finish. Could you just let me finish all the chats, like real quick, man? Like I'm not.
I
haven't
have chats here, but I'm just trying to like.
No, we've been talking about your chat. I just want to see the whole chat here. What about people who bet and kill their child? Then they're just killing their child. That one is straight up like murder. That's straight up murder, emperor. Like you're not a mother. That's a murder.
That's 3 kills.
Your mother. Because some people have no choice but to abort the child due to risk to life of the parents. Who? He said, do you hear that? He said some people have no choice but to abort the child due to risk to life of the parent. Maybe are you talking about maybe in situations where maybe the woman is like 40, 50, and if she gives birth to the child, she's going to die or something? Is that what you're talking about, Melvin? Because
Melvin,
due to risk to life of because giving birth is a natural procedure, like it's part of life. So risk to life in what sense? in the fact that she can't push. If she can't push, maybe they'll do a C-section. I don't know, but I don't really understand what you mean by that. Kind of explain. No mind the guy, Emperor. But people that do it without risk to the mother are stupid. Okay. Supporters argue that legal abortion provides women with the opportunity to postpone or avoid pregnancy. Supporters argue that legal abortion provides women with the option to postpone or avoid pregnancy.
Facts, Sha. Facts.
Legal abortion.
Facts. Yes, okay. That's the point.
Can you explain that to me? It went over my head.
Like, abortion allows women to, like, postpone their pregnancy. Basically, like, they can kill the child and not be pregnant. And what's the other point he said?
And to postpone. Supporters argue that legal abortion provides women with the option to postpone or avoid pregnancy.
Yeah, or avoid pregnancy, yeah.
Enabling them to pursue education, career opportunities, or like what you said now. What stops them? What stops them from pursuing education, career opportunities in the first place?
The thing is, was saying it like except his grip. Except you guys are talking about.
Except his grip. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Women must.
You can always keep. You're not born pregnant. You're not born pregnant.
You're born pregnant. No, you might if you're born pregnant. It will be a different situation.
You're not born pregnant. So you can always. You know what's funny? She was already pursuing education and career opportunities before that. So she stopped and went back. And when you go back, you'll be killed.
So you stay there. You won't leave.
Oh God. So yeah, Melvin, man. It still doesn't really add up to why abortion should be legalized from what I'm reading, sure, but let's keep reading. This in turn may contribute to overall well-being of, because from what you're saying, I think you're now trying to contain the situation, like, okay, people will still kill their children regardless, I think that's what he's coming from, like, people, even if they don't go to hospitals to do it, they'll still kill their children regardless.
The one kills.
Yeah, you need their limbs, man. You need to pop off in a cash cup. But anyway, so yeah, I get your point. So you're kind of telling them to, like, now we can control it. But I always have a problem with people trying to control a situation instead of preventing a situation, right? Prevention is always better than cure. Just the way when I watch, like, shout out to Fresh and Fit, man. But there are some takes that they give, and I'm like, you're telling these men not to take these women seriously. And you're still going behind and saying they should still sleep with this type of women. Why not teach them how to find the women that would help them, or how to just avoid situations that would just be bad for
but
you.
Uzom,
you get me?
I'm going to disagree with you now. Not because, again, I also believe prevention is better than cure, but I'm disagreeing with you so we can go off tangents. Like, we've been saying prevention is better than cure the whole show. Let's kind of like.
Although that's the ultimate point here.
No, yeah, it's the ultimate. We know that's the ultimate, but like, let's go to the. Okay, now we're in this situation. Okay. Like, let's
just write it down real quick. Let me just finish. Like, chat. I'm going to read the remaining chats right now, and it's done. Okay, so this in turn. So like, some do it for financial instability or like poor planning. I'm at work, so I'm not with my laptop, so I can't hop on this stream. Oh, that's your bro read till the end. Yeah. So yeah. So because
now on, guys. Yeah. From now on, guys, we're going to read questions that just read only chats that relates to the topic. Cause some of those chats are just trolls, man, and they're actually wasting our time.
So like, because you don't,
I also have questions here.
Yeah. So because you don't want to get pregnant, meaning you shouldn't have X. Yeah, like it boils down to not indulging in the activity. Like there are other things you can do to enjoy yourself. Like,
so because you don't want to get pregnant means
because you don't want to get pregnant. Yes. Like it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer now.
Sex leads to pregnancy unless you're using what's it called?
You're implanting it too.
Yeah, you're using like drugs and stuff. Then if you have sex, you're going to know there's a chance of, especially when you're in your
no, you can't use
cycle.
Drugs. You can't use drugs.
You're going to get pregnant. So I don't understand.
Yeah, like, okay, I get what you're saying.
When I say drugs,
like,
I mean
you're
like
preventing it with drugs
medicines,
or hormonal stuff.
Yeah, all the stuff. Yeah. No weed. Yes.
Anyway, which one will be this? Anyway, let's carry on. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
so chat, we won't read the chats for a while. Let's no, read your chat. No, read your. I'm talking to you.
Yeah, my chat is basically like Oba. Basically, I've already finished, but he just said the biology point is rubbish because everyone has opinions. That there's even a scholar that said life starts when it's a mind of your own, and then that's basically it.
No, Oba, the problem with you is you told us to search it and we searched it, and it's working against you. So that's the problem.
But, shout out to you though. You brought some good points. Like
that's the problem.
I educated myself in terms of like the 3 stages today. So
the
shout out to you, Oba, for that. Not everyone can get C-section and stuff. Okay, Now, guys, we've heard everything about this. Like, let's go back to the original question. Should abortion be legal? What do you guys think about should abortion be legal?
So
Like,
yeah,
we want to hear you guys'
you
opinion
guys, yeah,
now,
what like you guys should speak to us. Like we are done talking.
because you guys have answered all the questions we've been saying. So Oba said yes.
Okay.
Oba, why? You have to say
Yeah, why?
your answer and a reason. Obviously, you said some reasons about. Just give us like a succinct
Yeah,
reason.
Melvin,
now why
hold
you
your
think.
V card. Literally, just keep like if you don't want the consequences of having to go to abort a baby or to keep the baby, then avoid the whole situation as a whole. If you're not ready for it, why are you engaging in the activity that leads to it?
So basically, Oba, you're pro-choice. You have many reasons. Give some reasons. Like I know you've been asking, you've been giving
give
reasons,
some
but give
reasons.
some reasons pertaining to the question why it should be legal.
Why should it be legal? Like what? Because for you
Obviously,
to
we know your stance on grape.
no, let him speak. Don't help him. Let him
Non-consensual
speak.
sex. Okay,
Let him
he said
speak.
non-consensual sex. That's one. That's basically grape, right?
No, see, guys, please,
Defam-
guys. Sorry to cut you guys off, but leave grape out of it because grape is that is a topic that we've actually handled and
Yeah, we know grape.
and
Yeah, we
we
talked about grape.
we put that in the woman's hand. That's in the woman's control.
Yeah.
You get me? So
Yeah.
so like, let's speak about like other than grape, because
Okay,
that's
so
the
he
only
said
reason.
the formality of a child. We've discussed that. We've discussed the formality of a child and why we think you should keep it because there's right to life. Again, that's your opinion. If you believe right to life, whatever. He also said birth risks to both child and mother. Okay, but every mother that wants to give birth is under risk of dying. Like that. That's
Like
I don't understand what
I'm
that means. You have
confused
to
with that.
elaborate
Yeah,
on that.
what does that mean
Not being able to cater for the child. You shouldn't have the child if you're not able to cater for the child.
in the first place?
Unless it's under grip again. Like if it's not
Yeah.
under grip and you had sex with someone, like you're catering for the child, like you was
Like
your
was your
decision to have
decision
sex with someone.
to go in there.
We have to take accountability here, man.
Yeah, you guys
Physically,
are trying to
financially,
take it out.
emotionally, are you dull? Be
Okay,
open-minded.
Melvin, you
Like
said
we're
it should. Why?
open-minded, man. I don't understand.
What did he say?
Like,
Physically, say that again.
he said not being able to cater for the child physically, financially, emotionally. Are you dull? Be open-minded.
The funny thing is, you're a doll baby. That's the funny
You're
thing.
actually
And the
true,
reason
you
you're
know.
a doll baby is because
I beg.
look, it is a simple thing. If you add red and blue together and mix it, you're going to get purple. It is common. It is known. So when you carry red and blue and mix it together and you're getting purple, this is purple. Why are you
Oh, I know
screaming?
I'm making stupid claims.
Why are you screaming? Like you're getting the result of what you mixed. You're getting the results of the actions you took, right? So why
you're
should
saying 1 + 1 is equals to 3? I'm dead.
how? No, I don't get how you're just. Oh, but I feel you're just trying to poke
Oba
at
is just a
something.
troll. Oba is
You're
just a
poking
troll,
at
man.
something, but you're not poking well. You're a Pokemon. You should be
Just
put
a
in a
Pokemon.
Pokeball right now. But yeah, back to
Wildly.
what I'm saying.
The rats.
Back to what I'm saying, like Oba, it doesn't excuse the fact that these people already committed this action that led to this kid. It doesn't, because how do I explain this? Yeah, you go into an exam hall, right? You have an exam, you didn't study, you didn't prepare for the exam, you went there to fail, and you're begging them to promote you to the next class. That please, like you're begging lecturer to let you go, to add some marks so that you go. Why should the lecturer is not obliged to letting you go? Whether the exam was difficult or not, you didn't study. You didn't do your part. Because if you studied, you'll be at least 50%. It's not hard to get if you actually did some study. You get me? So,
Wait, Uzon, what do they call, when a man pays for child support?
child support.
I have a point I want to make. We'll just carry on. Finish your point and I'll make this point.
Yeah,
Oba, you have to
I'm
watch
done
some
with
ads,
my
man. You have to watch
point.
some ads. Okay, so my point, right?
I'll
guys,
subscribe.
I have
Oba,
a very good
subscribe.
point.
Brokey.
Yeah, Oba, subscribe, man. Subscribe to not have. I don't know how you're not subscribed yet as a mod.
Yeah, Brokey.
That's be a troll.
He's in the mud. He's not in mud.
He also said you mentioned cooking egg during group convo. Of course, cooking egg. If you don't understand cooking egg, then that's your own, man. You have to understand the cook.
Like,
You
is
have to
it
know how to
the
cook.
analogy I gave him?
Yeah, the analogy.
Like, that's the common sense. Come on, bro. I was
Anyhow,
trying to
My
explain
point.
something to you.
I have a very, very good point, guys. I want to hear you guys take on this. And shout out to shout out to like Fresh and Fit for it. Like I heard this point in Fresh and Fit. So they said stuff about like this point is basically in relation to abortion, right? So if a woman is allowed to abort a child based on, because we've heard my body, my choice, right? We've heard that a lot. That like my body, my choice. So should the man be excused from child support? Because basically, if you think of it both ways, it's actually the same. A man paying child support. Wait, let me hold on. Let me get my thoughts together. A man paying for child support, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is basically a woman. It's basically a woman. A man excusing himself from child support
Mm-hmm.
is basically a woman committing abortion.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. They are taking themselves away from their
Yeah,
responsibilities.
they are taking themselves
Yeah.
away from the
The responsibility of the child.
yeah.
So
do
why
you get what I'm
do they
saying?
he's basically saying why
Why
are
must
they
the man pay-
why must the man
Yeah,
pay the
why
child
must a man
support
pay child support
at all
and the woman
times?
is allowed to?
Yeah, and the
at
woman is
all
about
times,
to choose whether she wants
the
the baby
woman
or
is
not.
allowed to. The woman is allowed to abort.
Yeah.
What do you guys think
why
about
why
that?
like I said, is like giving birth to the child is in the hands of the woman, right? That one I'm not
Yeah.
arguing, that's facts. But how come it's not the same for the guy? How come?
Yeah.
How come? It should be the
People
same.
might-
It
yeah,
should be the same.
And I know the answer was
But
there.
if I
Woman's
was
body,
if I
woman's
was
choice. Okay.
if I was to be you know,
Man's money, man's choice.
if I was to be
don't
in the exactly, like there are two sides of the, you know, if I was to be like if I was to be the government, right? Both of you, nobody will be allowed to abort, nobody will be allowed to run away from that child. Both of you will stay there. Yeah, both of you will stay with that kid. You will I'll make sure I provide jobs. You will work. You will find that money. You take care of what you created. I'll make sure there are jobs. I'm the government. I'll make sure there are jobs for you. I'll make sure, you know, we protect, you know, like security wise, all that. We do what we need to do as the government. But you have to do what you need to do as the parent. Nobody is excusing anything. As far as you did it the right way, you went in there so that next time when you see Kuchi, you will use the back door. You understand?
But I think. Oh wait, answer. Woman's body, woman's choice. What do you mean answer? Or by
No, he's answering your question. Yes.
Oh, answer. Woman's body, woman's choice. Oh.
Yeah, and TJ, we can also answer like why not man's money, man's choice.
Man's choice. Yeah.
That's just a lousy excuse, bro.
But again, I want to divert a bit here now. I want to go to another area here.
Divergent.
I think the way we've been coming from abortion since we've only talked about at the start we gave 4 reasons, right? So we said lack of self-control, not being financially stable, grip and peer pressure. We talked about grip. We talked about financially stable.
Fruits.
Now let's talk about like abortion in terms of self-control, which is like normal cases for abortion, where for instance, like
you
just have
moved
sex
by
and you just want to abort.
hormones. Yeah.
Like it's not even about like you had sex right with someone and you guys just decided to abort the baby. Like we talked about extreme circumstances. Let's talk about normal circumstances now. I believe in those situations it should be illegal. Personally,
yes, it should be illegal. Like it's just like telling me
illegal, man.
I smoke cigarettes, right? And I want to somehow prevent my lungs from getting black, but I'm still smoking cigarettes. I'll be the blackest, longest man to live.
Wait, okay, I'm just going to clarify my last question, Oba. I just said if a woman is allowed to abort a baby because it's her body, her choice, then a man should be excused from child support because it's his money, his choice, even though it's his baby. Like it's not his body, it's his money.
Abino,
like
we're talking about personal belongings, right? The money belongs to him.
That was my point.
The money belongs to him.
His money, his choice. Anyways, my next point now is if someone, you and your, say for instance, you have sex with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, right? And you guys decide to, like, she decides on an abortion. Actually, let me ask another question. Say she wants an abortion.
Chat, we'll read the chat. And maybe I told you guys we'll just take a break from reading chat so it doesn't destroy the quality of the stream.
Yeah. Say she wants an abortion.
But we're reading it. We'll read it. Don't worry. Sorry.
And he doesn't want an abortion. Should she go ahead with the abortion?
Say that again.
Should they go ahead? So you and a couple is in a relationship. She's pregnant. He wants an abortion. He doesn't want an abortion. Does he have a right in that?
He should.
He should. Okay.
He should.
But does he like?
Like what is going on right now?
Yeah.
He does not now. He does not have like. But he should, because the child didn't come about. Because you know why he should, because he's still going to be liable for the child's child support, right? You get me? So you get me. But then to me it's like, bro, why did you engage in this, man? But if the woman is allowed to do this, why is the man not allowed to do that? You get me? So
Oba is saying here he's not the one carrying the child for 9 months.
But he's the one paying for the child's bills for 18 years.
Yeah, and he's also the one.
Yeah.
Like,
He's the
he
one that will go
planted the
to
seed.
work and
Like,
do the
without
hard job.
seed in there.
You get
Like,
me?
it's his seed, you know. So unless it's not his child, then
to be honest, the thing about seed, right? They are, bro. It's two things. I don't
yeah,
like.
it's
I don't
his
like.
seed and it's her egg.
There won't
Like,
be any child if those
yeah,
two
but
didn't
my
meet.
point is that
You get?
my point is that Oba is saying he's the one carrying, she's the one carrying the child for 9 months, and my point is that he's carrying his child for 9 months.
Their
So
child,
he has
it's
to have
their
a
child.
say.
It's their child. That's the point. It's their child.
It's their
That's the
child,
point.
yeah,
So why
but-
doesn't he have a say?
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
the point.
That's what I'm saying. But
why doesn't he have
yeah.
a say?
You know what I'm saying?
And also, like, that's what I'm telling you. It boils down to the whole prevention thing. Because no one should be deciding that. Let me read the chat real quick here. I'm reading my chats real quick. It's really not that hard. Yeah, we discussed that. Yeah, it should. Allowing individuals to control their fertility, plan their families, and make decisions about their bodies. In some cases, the fetus may have severe health issues or genetic abnormalities that are incompatible with life. Parents may choose to have an abortion in these situations to avoid unnecessary suffering and to prevent prolonged medical intervention. Did I read this before? Pregnancy can. Okay, pregnancy.
But guys,
can pose.
I want to touch on that question that guy answered. I always want to. Anytime people say stuff like that, I always like going back to before
Pregnancies can pose
pre-
a risk for someone such as
pre-technology.
this
I always like going back to
underlying
pre-technology,
medical
pre-abortion. When
medical conditions. So I'm just reading the chat real quick. Pregnancy can pose insignificant health risk for some women, such as those with underlying medical conditions or high risk pregnancy. Some cases, continuing a pregnancy may endanger the life or health of the woman, and abortion may be necessary to protect her well-being.
mutants.
Sorry, I was reading the chat. I didn't want to disrupt your own speaking. Yeah.
No, I was answering the question on that chat that you read.
Oh, really? What were you saying?
You know the first. Read the first chat. You said it again.
Oh, my bad. Chat, you see? That's why we don't read the chats anyhow. Like, this is a very intricate stream here, chat. So you guys understand. You guys have to understand when I don't read the chats. Like, it destroys the quality of the stream.
Nah, I don't support euthanasia, Oba. I don't.
So is it the one where you said in some cases the fetus may have severe health issues or general?
Yes. My point was just pre-technology, and it's a very short point. Pre-technology, there were cases like that, right? How did they handle it? You know, they handled all these things back then when there wasn't abortion. You understand? When the technology wasn't as advanced. So now, because we have abortion, we have the luxury of saying we have the luxury of saying stuff like that. That's my point.
Why are you misusing it? Literally, it's just like people dying to jacuzzis, like in the freaking caveman ages, man. There were no jacuzzis, man. So nobody complained about that.
Yeah. But if we look at it, Uzom, I think one of your chats, I'm actually just thinking from his perspective now. He said something very, very educational. He said stuff about population, right? Increase in population.
Yeah.
Because if we look at countries where there's no abortion, for instance, like I think Nigeria is illegal in Nigeria, right? So countries like that, right? If you look at that means if you have sex, like, and you have a child, you're having that child irrespective, right? And the population actually increases because anyone can have sex and stuff like that. But with abortion, there's a decrease in population, and there's all that also helps the economy in certain ways and stuff like that. So again, we can look at like the economical perspective of the abortion and stuff like that. I understand where he's coming from now.
I get what he's saying, but also what I'm saying is these things, like in that situation, we can say, okay, if we put down the abortion stuff, like, okay, yeah, there's a law where we can all, have accessibility to abortion, right? We should also the problem with that. Yes, the problem with that is like, TJ, now, if you want to get married, are you signing a prenup or no?
I am.
You are? Okay.
Yeah.
Me, I see it as, if you're getting married and you're saying, to death do we part, right? To death do we part. Signing a prenup is like saying, yeah, I want this relationship to go this way, but since I don't trust you, right? Since I don't trust you, and trust is the basis of the marriage. If there's no trust, if there's no love, I should not even be married. You get me? So since I don't trust you and I trust you're going to take my word and all that, I'm going to go ahead and sign a
there's a
prenup.
saying that says you shouldn't trust anyone, like even if your spouse, like treat everyone as. Yeah, it's not like about saying I don't trust you. It's just about clarification
No, but
of
it's
like
actually
property.
trust. No, it's actually trust.
It's not really
no,
trust.
it is
Wisdom. It's not
actually
really
trust.
trust.
If you know
It is
today,
not.
if you know today it is not going to rain, would you go outside with an umbrella?
There's a possibility. Like, how do you know for sure?
For
Do you know
sure,
for
like
sure it's not going to
wine
rain?
summer, you know for sure it's
That
not going
doesn't
to.
mean it won't rain in summer. It rains in summer.
No, now like you checked your
Like, I don't
forecast. You
understand.
no, come on, like you
Okay,
check.
you check the
You check
forecast.
your
Okay, you
forecast.
check
You
the
checked
forecast.
everything. Like
I'll still carry an umbrella because there's a possibility. Obviously, probability, the likelihood is very low, but it doesn't mean like the forecast fails us. Like, okay, let's say you have to look at it again. There are so many factors. You have to look at, like, for instance, you have to do your research on the forecast prior to that day. So look at the days and how the forecast related to, how justified it was. So if it was sunny, if it said it was going to be sunny yesterday and it was sunny throughout a week before, like a week straight, and there's it.
okay,
But
okay.
you have to do your research. So it's just the same
Exactly.
thing as prenups.
Meaning you have to have already lived with this person before you are getting married to this person.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You
Exactly,
have to live.
because
Exactly.
most of these people that sign prenups, they just want a quick marriage and boom. And also, don't forget, because someone made the point that some of these guys signing prenups, most of the times they want a traditional wife that stays at home, takes care of the house and all that, and the kids and all that. You get me? Meaning, if she had a career before she met you, she's going to drop that career, and you're going to be her sole, like, what do you call it, financial provider and all that stuff. Meaning, if the marriage gets cut, you didn't stop working, but she did. She has nothing in savings. She has nothing. So if she gets kicked out the club, right, or you shouldn't. If you get divorced, she's not technically kicking you out the club. But if you guys divorce, right, what happens to her? She fares less because she doesn't have the money and stuff to take care of herself after that divorce. That's why people actually do that stuff where the guy gives the woman money. But of course, like, people have tried to exploit the system as everything. Like, there's nothing in this world that doesn't have a good and bad side. You get me? But the thing with this abortion thing is they are trying to cover the fact that these guys did this stuff and this is what it is now. It's not because all of a sudden a baby just formed in her stomach. That's not how it works. It's not magic. You put it in and it came out. So
Anyways, guys, again, like the video,
then you
like
will
the
look
video,
stupid outside. Hey, like the video.
subscribe,
TTV
follow.
_ TJ Rockstar on Twitch.
and
But yeah,
YT_Vibe Gator. But guys, you guys have
no,
heard
Vibe
that
Gator,
takes.
just Vibe Gator.
Oh, sorry,
Love
Vibe
Gator.
Gator.
Sorry, it's Love Gator. Actually.
Love Gator, guys. Actually, love Gator.
Yeah,
You have to love alligators.
Very important. Very important.
So, you guys have heard our takes, man. Like, in general, everything we've said has kind of been linked to each other. Like, our stances. Like, again, our stances, we don't believe it should be
I
legalized.
should get a haircut. Bro, I should get a haircut too. Yeah.
Yeah, I need a haircut. I won't lie. I'm going to get a haircut, like, probably next week or something. But,
don't let the child bully you, bro. If you don't get a haircut, don't
no,
get a haircut.
I am. Whoever said the fact. I like my hair.
No, you're looking rough, Sha. But yeah, but it's not that bad. Like, if you're broke here, you can just do your thing and get yourself up. cut your hair when you need to. Like me, like, I go bald because I don't have the money, bro. So
Yeah, I have to be
you're
bald,
saying
bro.
he should get a haircut, like you're going to give him money to get a haircut, bro. Go and subscribe to him
I'll
so
get a
he
haircut.
gets a haircut.
I'll get a haircut.
Go over to Twitch and subscribe to him so he gets a haircut.
But
chat.
yeah, man, abortion and legalization. Again, the thing is, these topics are very opinionated. We know that there are certain countries, for instance, that legalize abortion. So if you're in certain countries that don't legalize abortion and you do want an abortion, you can always go to other countries that have it legalized, But there are certain countries that have it as a norm. And we have to say, okay, we have to compare and contrast these countries. We have to compare and contrast these countries and say, okay, this country.
Then you can subscribe to me. Yeah. Well, if you really want him to get a haircut, then yeah, it's just 1 month.
This country, like, that guy's just a troll, man. We can say, like, this country. What's my point again? I forgot my point.
So you were talking about this country.
Yeah, I was talking about abortion in different countries, and
you
comparing
were saying
and
she can
contrasting
can travel somewhere else to have the abortion.
Yeah, you can compare and contrast countries and say, okay, countries that legalize abortion, how is the economy of the countries? Because again, it's not just about the individuals, about like the country as
the
a
natural
whole.
gain, the whole gain.
If we're looking at like
society.
the country, because we can go from the individual perspective into the government perspective and the communal perspective and say, okay, what are the benefits? we already know the benefits, pros and cons for individuals, right? We know that for individuals like that participate in abortion, we know what happens to them. Then in terms of the country, that's what we haven't even touched on. We haven't even gone there, and that might be like a part 2 or like a different section in general. But
yeah, because at the end of
this
the
question is actually very
it's very broad. Yeah, at the end of the day, whatever the government is legalizing should be a net gain, right, to the whole cause of society, right? If the government is legalizing abortion, indirectly they are saying, oh, go ahead, misbehave, right? We got you, right? That's what they are saying indirectly. Go ahead, do what you like. We'll strip you of those consequences, or we'll allow you be able to strip yourself of those consequences. But that's just for the woman. Let's not forget, because if you're a guy and that woman tomorrow says she wants that baby, you have to pay child support depending on the country you're in. So, of course, if you're in Nigeria or somewhere else, you can do a runaway. Holy. But anyway,
that's a vibe. The Economist, net gain.
Yeah, I studied. I did love
net
economics.
Gain.
Like, yeah, I did love econ. So
Very important.
Yeah. But yeah. So guys, like,
well, actually, in terms of net gain, countries that have abortion legalized, there should be a bigger net gain, right? Because obviously they're getting money from that. that's
facts.
It makes sense, right?
But you also know, because someone was talking about deformities. The more you abort, the more you destroy like your internal stuff, right? Like you're disrupting some processes, and it's going to lead to some other.
Likelihood.
So meaning your egg cells, your sperm cells, all that stuff. Like we're saying abortion for women, egg cells. Like men that do the vasectomy or all that rubbish, that's their sperm cells. So it becomes less fertile, and also can, when you give birth, you can give birth to more deformed kids. At the end of the day, you get me, which can in turn lead to some other problems for the society. That's what I'm saying.
But the net gain,
net gain, there are different gains. It might be financial, it might be financial, economical. Gain, like there's something called is it equity? Is called, I think it's equity. There's equity and there's I forgot. It's some economic stuff, bro. Some economic stuff. Like there's a gain that is like social gain, and there's a gain that is solely on like income, on like revenue. Yeah, there's one that's
a gain that is Myron Gain.
Myron Gain. Shout out to the big man. Holy.
I got Myron himself.
Holy. Fresh.
But anyhow, guys,
it's been a minute, man. This podcast is meant to be
on here for
we should be going off in 3 minutes. So if you guys have any other questions,
we're going to switch to Forts for the
Fortnite lovers. Fortnite lovers, man.
You guys stay tuned.
Hop on Twitch. I'll be on Twitch in a bit.
Yeah.
Pink eyes.
Guys, you guys know our ticks, man. And thanks for you guys' contribution, especially Oba. Shout out to Oba. Shout out to Melvin in your chat. Shout out to the
Emperor himself.
Which Emperor?
The Mumu man. The Mugu Master.
The Mugu Master. Shout out to Mugu Master, man. Very daft.
Shout out to Fortune. Arman. See, I love you guys, man. You guys keep it interactive. And guys, don't forget.
Shout out to you guys, man.
Head over to YouTube and like it up and follow it up. Love Gator is the name. On Twitch, it is TTV _ TJ Rockstar. Let's show him some love, and guys,
and
TJ.
Yeah, guys, our next podcast is going to be lit, man. Just get ready.
It's going to be lit, and it's in 2 days, guys. So we have.
Does God exist? Don't worry, I think we've done that.
We'll do another one.
We didn't do it on the podcast.
Yeah, we'll do another. Yeah,
personally, it was actually a good one.
Yeah, we'll do another one.
Our next podcast is going to be lit.
Keep that question. Write that question now. Like, guys, if you have questions,
that's a good idea.
Write it down. Write it down and keep it for the stream. All right. So guys, we're heading out, and it was a lovely one, guys. Move over to Twitch. Like I said, TTV _ TJ Rockstar. I'll be on Twitch myself. YT _ Vibe. So you guys know the vibes, man. Anyway, guys, love you all. Of course, for my YouTube boys, watch this video right here. You know the deal, man. Anyway, catch you guys in the next one. Boom.
All right, guys. Switching over to Fortnite. Fortnite lovers, stay in tune. Stay in tune.
Stay in tune.
We're about to get some 2v2s.
The nitty gritty. Holy.